Welcome back, everybody. It's Rama from Junk Journal Divas. I am really excited today because I have been working on this journal non-stop. When I tell you, I don't know if you guys are like this, but when I get into, I call it Kristen mode, where I am just hyper focused on finishing a project and it's all I can think about until I finish. So I tell my husband, he knows, I say that I'm in Kristen mode. So I've been nonstop putting all of this together. So excited to share this with you. I know I always say this is my favorite, but this is my favorite that I've made so far. It starts off with the book, and I'm going to show you some of the pages from this book. I wanted to keep the cover because this book is called Bird's Christmas Carol. It's 124 years old. It was originally published in 1886. This copy was published in 1899. And this is the original cover. So it's on the back, and I wanted to leave it as is because I just thought it was so pretty and so cute. So this is the original cover. It's just, put it on the back. So this is a soft spine. And so I was experimenting with this since it's new for me. And I did my personal Christmas journal. So I have that video on the process of how I did it. I will link that video in the video description if you're interested. So this is a really thick fabric, and there's 2 layers here, and I sewed them together. So they're glued together, but I also sewed them together, and I did a couching stitch around these fibers, and I added some sparkly seed beads there. And then of course I had to add one of my boho beads with a little jingle charm, and it says joy here. And these pieces are from a vintage necklace. Yeah, it was just a really beautiful necklace. I did the same thing at the bottom. Unfortunately, you can't really see when this is sitting up, upright, but it just looks so pretty, and the snow kind of comes over into the cover. I will also link my video on how I made the tree for the front. This was a whole process in itself. I had so much fun doing these. This is another piece of vintage jewelry here on top of the tree. And I will just say I pretty much used every Tim Holtz product for holiday under the sun. Just to name some, I used mica flakes, the frosted crystal, texture paste, sparkle. The snowfall grit paste is here. I used embossing tinsel, which I put on my key here. And I just have this, it's very heavy, but I had to include it in this book. So it's just hanging on here. It can be taken off. Used the embossing tinsel on these keys, and I just thought that this was so cool. And of course I used embossing glazes and distress sprays on the backgrounds, and I used a bunch on my papers. The size of this, it's a 5x7, and this spine is 2.5 approximately inches. There are 3 signatures in here. Look at all this goodness. I have so many charms, because this is my favorite part of a journal. I love all the things, all the stuff, So I've got little dangles and charms and bells and beautiful trims and all kinds of goodness here. So there are 55 pages in here. I used some digital kits from House Whimsy. I will also link those in my video description. And all the rest of these papers, as you will see, they're all my hand-dyed papers, my painted papers, or my eco prints that I was working with. And I have a few book pages that I used. Let's open her up and get started here. I'm going to take the key off here and put it aside. Put it up here. And I want to show you one of the things that I like about the soft spine, because like I said, I wasn't sure what I thought of it when I first started. So, you know, when it's not a soft spine and you've got your pages doing this, you can't really lay them flat. What I like about this is that you can shift, because it moves. You can shift it up, and I don't know if you can really tell. So this is perfectly flat now. Start at the beginning here. So we're gonna come up. So this is a little poem about this journal. So everything in this journal, I'm thinking about it being this frosty, wintry wonderland. This is one of the tags that I made. I have a whole video of just making these tags because they were just so fun. So I made the backgrounds. This is watercolor paper. And then all these focal points are from House Whimsy. And you can see I've got some mica flakes on there. I've got all kinds of stuff on these. Some charms. And I painted some little branches. They're throughout the book as well. So the poem here, let's look at this. It says, there's a secret kingdom hidden from human sight, a realm of magic and wonder beneath a blanket glimmering white. It's ruled by frosty monarchs who shine with regal grace. They govern in the silence, a kingdom wrapped in ethereal embrace. Amongst the dancing snowflakes, they roll without a sound and dance with reindeer companions, leaving footprints on crystalline ground. You'll hear whispers of many legends, a cold and wintry night, of a kingdom with snowflakes like confetti, where all your dreams take flight. Behind here, this is one of my eco print papers. And I put a little, this book belongs to here. So you saw the first tag that is in here, and then this little guy flips up. This is a page from the original book. And there's just two little mini tags in here that were from the digital kit. And I've got these beautiful trims from Sheila from Boho Daydreams, my fancy trims. The digital over here, and then this is one of my dyed papers, and I just put wrapped some tulle around the edge here with a little jingle bell. Love the way these papers turned out. And then I did some, see here, I did some tonal stamping in blue. I've got to show you, this is the eco dyed papers that it's in on the cover, the inside cover, and I just loved the colors of these, the way that they turned out. Other side here. Then this is a dyed painty paper. You can see I just went crazy with my papers like I always do. So they have all kinds of different sparkles, mica powders, some perfect pearls. I used all kinds of stuff just to add a little bit of shimmer and shine to make it look snowy and wintry. Now we are getting to, this is the title page of the book. So here you can see $18.99 at the bottom here. I love books so much, and it's always bothered me when you have those books where the pages are so brittle that if you would bend them, it just snaps apart. So I figured out a way to use them. So, and then I just crunched it up. The pages that I used, I took out all of the illustrated pages, so that's what I used. And I put a little bit, of course, of some shimmery stuff on here too, and some messy sewing. And this book belonged to Bertha Wayman. This was on another piece, and I just put it, glued it onto here. Who lived in Kansas City, and this is 1901 that she's writing, that this was her book. If you're a book lover like me, I just think this is really cool and very special. And this is a Braille paper. I inked up a little bit and more beautiful trims here. Got some more, you can see the shimmer here. And I did just some little stitching here with a little more dangle. And then we just have a little lace piece. And this is a page of the book that I took some pages from. So they're from this book, and it's a fabulous book. It has these illustrated pages. They're really thick pages, and I took each signature in the journal has a full page, so it's got the two sides. So this was just a great addition since we've got the woodsy stuff. But then I just put another little dangle there. And then here's the other side of that eco-dyed paper. And I picked this one out because it is a furry moth. It looked like a wintry moth. And then we're getting to the center here. So I added this in a little bit of the parchment paper. Just looks icy and wintry to me. Got our Let It Snow girl tag here. And then the inside. And then on the back here, tucked this in. It says peace. Another eco-dyed page and the book page. We have our lace, journal page. And then here we have another one of the pages that I preserved. The other side of that Braille with some trim. See the snow and some mica flakes. This page was about this poem, and I have the poem from the book. I glued it onto the back. Here, got another one of my painty pages, and I just did some more stitching up the side here, and this is just kind of holding the end, dangling there. And then on this side, some more of the beautiful trim. And we have our second tag in here, A Realm of Magic. And a lot of this stuff was in my holiday fabric collection kit. I sold out of them, but like this little piece and this that looks like tulle. The backgrounds, they just turned out so well. I did some branches here. On the other side here, an eco print. And all of these are 28-pound paper, just so you know, so they're nice and sturdy. More eco print in the dyed page here. Little mini tuck. Okay, so this is the first signature and this is the second signature. So you can see the space in between there, and that's what kind of allows you to move and shift the book around. So personally, I really like this, especially because I love big bulky books. Starting with the second signature here. More of my dyed papers. Got a doily here. These frosty windows. And the butterflies, I also put some mica flakes on there. This is one of my painted papers and a fancy embellishment here. And then here, this is homemade paper. It's from India. So it's really thick, very fancy. And I left it as is. I just think I love the texture and everything. It has a card inside. I just tucked another one of my little tags. This one says Jolly. She's all frosty. Have hold it up so you can see. Here we go, a mini boho bead. So cute. That's just dangling off here. We have a painted paper. This is a jelly print music page. And we're going to, here's some of my green dyed paper. And I did this sparkly ribbon here with a little dangle. This is the eco prints that I did in my embossing machine, and I used metallic paint to do it, so it's got a little bit of shimmer. Then we got a little coffee stained receipt here. Here's another page of that book that I love. I'm putting some of these clips in. I just put little pieces of ribbon on. I'm going to put 2 of these in just for when you're working on your journal. And then we have this page. Even on these things, I used glossy accents, so they have a little bit of a 3-dimensional, I don't know if you can tell, but, and I did some sewing around. I love this spread. So just starting with the digital alone, just beautiful. This is a part of the first page of the book. I just glued it on there, put some gold paint around. I did sewing all around this one. And then this is some food packaging I turned into the pocket here. So it's kind of fun. And then these extra tags that I made. And this is an altered time card. She goes in there, and then we have another little dangle here. We have this page, gorgeous trim here. And part of that receipt, and here's the eco print paper. Some jelly print paper with some fancy trim. Here we've got our Christmas tree, and then just a little tuck here. This is a thick, comes with the Tim Holtz stuff. This is a frame from Tim Holtz I used with the digitals. So you can see I've got the mica flakes and some tulle here. All kinds of stuff going on. These were so much fun to make. I love making tags. Their wintry window. And then my dyed paper. And this is just, I put a little candy cane in there. It's just tucked in there so you can take it out if you want a snack. Now you can see here, we're going from the second to the third signature. Okay, so here in this pocket, thought this was pretty and I didn't use it. It's foundry wax that I used on top of it. So I just put this in here. And then we've got the king, goes with the queen on the other part of the time card. Another one of those eco print papers, painty paper, and I've got another little dangle here from that vintage necklace. On this page, I've got my butterflies, and then here, this just opens up. So you could use this to as a belly band if you wanted to put some papers in, or a little letter that you write, or just write on this, or both. And we've got some bells here. Have the king here. He's got lots of fancy stuff going on. You can see the background. I've got my snow down here. And a piece of a dyed paper. And then this is a piece of wallpaper that I used and I made some pockets out of. This page though, we've got our queen. It says the Frosty Monarchs and their magic cascade, snowflakes like confetti, a celestial parade. So here you can see the pockets that I made. You just put some lace here. This is embossed and I didn't use it, so I just left it as is. Thing I don't know if I mentioned that I love about the illustrations are that you can write on the back. And this is tracing paper that I used, so you don't have to worry about writing. There's no glue here that you have to write on top of. So it's easy to journal on those. And this one says, she is a little Christmas child. And then this page, fancy sari fabric. And I just did some more wrapping my fuzzy yarn here. And this is just tucked in. A little bit of a fun page here. Got my reindeer from the digitals, and I put some more candy canes in the stocking here. And then here, I hid one under here. Like I said, I've got to have a little bit of a whimsical kind of fun page. And we have this little girl here, Jingle Bells. Doily, and then here, another one of the tags. More beautiful trim here. Wintry forest. Then we're coming to the another center. And I had a whole bunch of ideas for this page, and I thought, you know what, let me leave this because you could do a lot of fun things here. Or just trim. Okay, then we're getting towards the end. We've got a frosty forest here. And here I have one of my altered paper clips. I loved this one. So I love the colors. Tim Holtz ephemera in because it has the queen. And the doily. More painty pages. The pocket I made. So she says Silent Night. And then another one of the preserved book pages. It's from a photography book, another book page. More fun painty pages, and then we are at the end. And then here is the other side of that eco-dyed paper. Is she filled with goodness or what? So she will be soon in my Etsy shop, and I'm very excited about her. I hope you all loved her. Let me know what you are working on for the holiday and what you're excited about. If you're making journals, or are you doing a December daily? Are you making any gifts? So let me know what you're creating, and thanks for joining me.